Yeah. Right, you look after that, please.
Will do.
It's on the ground when there's no wind, because when you might just leave your hand off.
Yeah.
Okay, to get wet.
Sorry?
Okay, to get wet.
Okay, perfect. Oh yeah, okay. Make sure that's fine. Okay. Yeah, no worries. No worries.
He's coming back to it. He's back. He's back. Come on back. The pitch about hard off the side of the started. He's fucking back. He's here. See him. The road is up and he's there. 10 yards. He is so back. Get our serial number on that man there. Run over there. That's the lineup. Guys, line it up there. Line it up this way. Chris, and then you can kick down. Kyle, we're not needed you here. That's okay.
Hello, Max.
Oh, you didn't hit. I'll let it wrong. Let's go, boys!
Coin toss happening now.
Look it up, boys. Return team, here we go. Return team. Here we go. Kick off first. Eli, Greg, you, West, ready.
A pleasant welcome to Craigavon, everybody. Hello again from my home studios in Dublin 14. Welcome to the final game of UCD American football season. We're thrilled to have all of you here today. Unfortunately, due to a few technical errors as far as the field not having a room or any real space as long as we use a delayed feed, I am calling the game from home, so I am not at the field. However, our wonderful camera operator, Sam Malone, is holding onto the camera today handheld as a result of us missing the tripod that the camera normally goes on. So again, we can't thank you all enough for your patience. UCD will open the game kicking off, and the Craigavon Cowboys, who have been saved from relegation, will start the game with the ball. We're thrilled that you've decided to make us part of your Sunday afternoon. Thank you so much for being part of our season-long celebration of American football here in Ireland. UCD enters today locked into the second seed in AFI. They can play no team but the Cork Admirals in the playoffs. The kickoff is going to come from the right side of your screen over toward the Cowboys setup on the left. So Will Lambert will be the one to kick this one off for UCD. Dressed today in their sky blues, with the Cowboys in their black with orange shoulders. The kick is away. Let's have some fun from Craigavon in Northern Ireland today. It's a return up the middle for, call it 20 yards on the play. UCD brings a comparatively light roster today for today's contest. They bring only 38 players for today's contest. Craigavon Cowboys don't bring many more. They only bring 15. So for UCD today, we do not have a starters graphic. The starting lineup was a bit tenuous heading into today's contest. So Owen Feely, Craig Carville, Hugh O'Connor, and Adam Quinlan start on the defensive line on the front four. First snap is not going to go well. It's a run back to the left side, and it sounds like a fumble from the field. And the Cowboys recover the ball. Ominous start today for the team locked into finishing 7th place in AFI's Premier Division. They have secured their spot to stay up. However, the Cowboys are going to need a little bit more than the ability to stay up in order to compete and succeed in AFI's Premier Division next season. However, they will have a next season. On defense, at the linebacker spots, Thomas Fitzgerald, Larry Doyle, and Eddie Goggins Jr. Minding the corners will be Liam Polson, Harry Watchorn, and at the safety spot, Dan Vershu and Jendre Kubica. Kubica earning his first start as there is a flag on the play. Cowboys lining up deep in their own territory following a short punt return and a fumble on first down. The failed play plus the defensive penalty allows for this reset of second down. Looks like about 9 yards to go. Pass coming up over the middle, and it's intercepted. Thomas Fitzgerald has himself a first pick of the day. And the first drive for the Cowboys results in a turnover. That brings out the UCD offense. Starting at offensive line today, Camille Cherpiche comes back to the left tackle position. Owen Feely will be at left guard. Sebastian Meidel will be at center. Carl Ballon will be having the right guarding duties. And Will Lambert will be at right tackle to start today. Donovan, Kusmerik, Wiley, and Duffy are the scheduled 4 to begin today at the wide receiver position. Tom McEniff will start back at running back, and Aaron Mooney will have the quarterbacking duties. Because of the orientation of this field, it looks like every offense is going to drive from camera left to camera right. It's a 4-receiver set for UCD's first down play. And it's going to be a handoff to McKenniff. It's going to go up the middle and getting about halfway there before meeting some tacklers. UCD resets themselves for second down. As a result of this being a converted Gaelic field, as you pass over the top and looking for the corner route, incomplete. Listening poolside in Sicily today. Impressive. As always, drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from today. Looks like a short third down conversion attempt coming here for UCD. They will roll out left and over the top, just off the fingertips, incomplete. One of the tall receiver, Pat Duffy. Now it's going to be fourth down here for the students in sky blue. UCD this season is 2 for 10 on fourth down conversions. Listening in from Armagh. Happy to see you coming in from Portadown. Sam, who's also holding the camera. Fourth down attempt early in this game. Toss play, left side, looking around the edge, and got the first down marker and more. And UCD converts their third fourth down play of the year. Not sure what those whistles were for, but we're going to play on as it's UCD first down, just outside the 10. Mooney the snap. Mooney holds. Mooney's chased out of the pocket. He'll get some positive yards as he scrambles for it. And it looks like he ran out of bounds on the left side of the field. Second down and 5. Shotgun back. Mooney looking toward his left. Pump fakes. Throws toward the end zone. And it's a tall catch. Touchdown UCD. And we hear the first call for tractor formation. This has been a sore spot for UCD in the last half of the season. After a great start to the year on 2-point conversions, they had a really tough time going for it on 4th down and going for it for 2 points. They are 14 of 26. They went 1 for 3 against South Dublin. The back is Alex Kusmarek. He'll receive the snap, run up the middle, and he is through for 2 extra points. So it's an early 8-0 lead, and UCD on top. As actually, it looks as though that play was the touchdown. So now it is still only 6-0. They're going to try this formation again. Donovan caught it, and now they run up for looking for 2 extra points. There's a flag on the play. Flag on the play, so hold everything here as UCD going for it for the 27th time on 2-point conversions. If the flag is on Craigavon, UCD will probably take it and try again. Incredible overview. Just wish the camera cooperated and showed more game and less rocks. So Kusmarek had the TD run in tractor formation. And they will line up to go for 2 once again, this time from the 1. Snap to Kusmarek. He's going to glide his way through, gets the blocking, and gets the 2-point conversion. But first, there's a flag. If there was a supercut of flags, and it looks like flag was against the defense, so UCD will wisely decline the penalty and take the 2 extra points. So Kusmarek scores all 8 points on that drive. The Northern Irish native gets UCD on top to start today's contest. The offensive line coach for UCD, his voice carries very well because I can hear him on the camera's microphone, and we're all the way on Craigavon's side of the field. So because of the field orientation, all offensive drives are going to go left to right across your screen. The only reason they've painted the end zone for the other side is in case of a defensive return. This is a converted GAA field. For the uninitiated, that means Gaelic Athletic Association. UCD is up 8-0 on their first drive of the first quarter. And Will Lambert will send the ball away again. As always, drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Always curious to see the global reach of UCD American football. And it's a touchback to start this next drive for the Cowboys. Cowboys have struggled this season to score and to move the ball and to play defense, so struggling in basically every aspect of the games. They have 30 points total on the season and have been shut out in 4 of their 6 losses. Of the 5 possible playoff teams, because the Rebels are still in the mix for the playoffs right now, despite being on the outside, Craigavon scored points only against Cork in a 55-12 loss back on June 9th. Craigavon scored its most points against Cork out of any opponent this season, and their only victory was a 10-0 win over Limerick. Here's the snap. It's going to be a passing play. It was an interception on the last play, and this one's caught this time. Into heavy coverage, but it's a nice catch. And the Cowboys get their first down of the day. Cowboys will reset themselves looking for their first down while closing in on midfield. They will load up the left side with receivers, keep a shotgun back. And now all receivers except for a slot. The receiver stopped at the QB in order to get word of where he was going. And the quick throw and catch is stopped because of a false start. And now you start to see my point about Craigavon struggling to play defense and to move the ball. To keep everybody interested, we'll talk about the playoffs because UCD will qualify for the Premier Division playoffs this year. The Belfast Trojans will either face the Belfast Knights or the Dublin Rebels, depending on the results of today's game. Sorry, I'm getting occasional updates from the field, hence the reason I keep looking down at my phone to give me updates. So the offensive penalty backs up the Cowboys 5 yards. It'll remain first down as UCD keeps with their nickel defense. Low snap, eventually handled. Roll out right. Quarterback going to run, and quarterback is bottled up before he gets back to the original line of scrimmage. Now, for anyone interested in the relegation battle, by virtue of the South Dublin Panthers forfeiting last week and forfeiting this week's games against the Belfast Trojans, South Dublin will go down as a result of losing 2 standings points, and they are guaranteed relegation. So the Cowboys, they will be safe for next year. However, given the fact that on their sideline they've got a grand total of, it looks like, 4 substitute players, it's going to be an interesting offseason to see how they can do in recruiting. Back to throw on this second down play. Over the right side, incomplete, as a receiver goes down on the play. This will set up third down for Craigavon. Third down and a long way to go. Numbers are going to be very hard to read from this far away, so apologies if I don't call out individual players on their stellar performances or not. It's going to be looks like a max protect look with 2 receivers. Back to throw. Obvious passing down. Going to try a swing route. It's incomplete. One of the running backs swing And that was not going to go very far. Fourth down as Craigavon will line up to punt. Out of all the players who sent me a bio, number 77, who just ran on the field, is not one of them. So UCD will receive the punt. Alex Kusmarek has been the one receiving punts the last few games, with the absence of Sean Douglas. Long snap eventually gets there. UCD got a heavy rush on, and the punt is not going to go very far, netting roughly 25 yards on the kick. So UCD's offense will go back to work. Interception on the first drive is improved to a punt. On the second drive, Cowboys remain off the board in this 8-0 game. Again, due to the field orientation, both offenses will be attacking the right end zone for the duration of today's contest. We're grateful you've decided to join us on this Sunday, the final regular season game for UCD this season and the final day of AFI action. Mooney sets one receiver to his right, and he'll spread three in formation to the left side. Mooney, it's going to be a running play. Not a whole lot of room. Craigavon's defensive line won the battle on that exchange. Second down and long, setting up for the students in sky blue today. UCD, they're going to have to move quickly. Craigavon's offense moves slowly, all over the left side. And Kusmarek comes down with it for some yards. Third down upcoming. And looks like we've got a timeout from the Cowboys. Their first of three allotted for the first half. We're just getting started here, so thank you so much for joining all of us. Yes, stats will be challenging to record this week, Graham. I can't agree with you more. The players are moving along on what looks to be standard definition television from the early 90s. I've seen my fair share of 1970s and 1980s reboots for sports highlights. Counting stats must have been very hard. Good morning to the O'Briens. Thank you so much for making us part of your day all season long. Michelle, I can't thank you enough for the incredible mug that your son gifted to me last week. It's beautiful. I have no notes. It's perfect. So following the timeout for Craigavon, UCD's second drive will get back to work on this long third down. Mooney again stands in shotgun. He'll receive and look to his right. Now look left, looking for a receiver. And it looks like it's going to be a short fourth down. Why bother with stats this game? Because I need them. That's why. So UCD is 1 for 1 today on fourth down. They enter today with a 20% conversion rate. Mooney rolls out. Mooney's going to run for it. Mooney's going to get the first down. That's 2 for 2 on fourth downs today. UCD keeps the drive going. Taking the snap, fakes the handoff, swing out again. And TD Tom Donovan gets good yards on the play. Second down and looks to be about 3 for UCD. UCD entering today's game second in the league. Passing play for Mooney. Pump fakes once, has got a lot of time, throws it over the top, and it is intercepted by the Cowboys. And this has been one of the sore spots for Aaron Mooney's game. In the last couple of games, he's thrown a few too many interceptions. So the Cowboys get a bonus possession here following the turnover. Eight 8-0 lead still here in this first quarter. As the Cowboys set up for their third drive, interception and punt on their previous two. Cowboys have 2 timeouts remaining. They used one to defend a long UCD third down. However, that third down ended up setting up a 4th down conversion. Cowboys keeping the offense on the left side of the offensive formation as we once again drive to the right side of the field. Receivers got it and laterals it back to an offensive lineman. All right, then. I guess when you struggle to move the ball, you've got to get a lot of people involved. That first down play, for all that, it only goes for about 4 yards, as there is a flag on the play. Stop me if you've heard that one before. And it is a penalty against the Cowboys. So now all that razzle-dazzle for nothing. Cowboys setting up another long first down play. They'll switch the receivers down, spread them out evenly both sides of the field, 2 and 2. And linebacker cuts up in a blitz formation, and the offense moved. Back them up once more as the train has decided to go by today. So from 1st and 10 with a pass positive gain, goes to 1st and 15 with a false start, goes to this 1st and 20 play. Both teams have possessed the ball twice here in this first quarter, as this is Cowboys' 3rd drive of the day. They'll tighten the formation on the right side, keep 2 receivers out each way. And that is incomplete. Now we eventually get to 2nd down. Cowboys do like to hang on to the ball for a long time, so we've got plenty of time for questions if anybody's got them. I'll answer most reasonable questions. Another episode of Fun with Flags. Only CGP Gray gets to do Fun with Flags these days. Quarterback back to throw, and he's sacked on the play. It's a strip sack. Looks like UCD's got it. And UCD does have it. They recover the ball and will move to the right side where the offense will get back on the play. Hugh O'Connor, the one on the strip sack, as that's now the second turnover of the day for Craigavon, just here in this first quarter. O'Connor, a 12-year veteran with UCD's team from Portaloo in County Laois. He also has experience in hurling. He was a class of 2017 graduate of UCD, still contributing to the club as UCD sets up what looks like first and goal. And it's first and goal inside the 5. So Craigavon's pre-snap penalties cost them valuable yards. And now, UCD's third drive of the day begins inside the 5 for a first and goal. Rooney's got 2 in the backfield with him. It's going to be a running play up the middle, and Craigavon able to stop them for a loss at the 4. Not quite sure what the play call Michigan means here for the Craigavon Cowboys, but it is to counter this 1 receiver left, 2 in the backfield, 2 receivers right set for UCD. And it's another run up the middle, push the pile, and it is a touchdown UCD. UCD will line up to go for 2 again. They are 1 for 1 today, and they are 15 of 27 on the season. We'll try it from the right hash, so everybody in formation, as it's going to be a standard offensive play for UCD. Fake the run, pump fake left. It's going to be an underneath route, getting to the pylon, touchdown again. That's an extra 2. UCD offensive drives go 2 for 3 with 2 touchdowns and an interception, and they are now 2 for 2 on 2-point conversions. Tom McKenniff had the run to get the UCD team into the scoreboard. 16-0 UCD on top. As Stu Wiley had the 2-point conversion. So Will Lambert will once again kick off from the right side of the field to the left. Fourth drive of the day for the Cowboys. Will Lambert checks to make sure everybody's ready before the 5-yard run up, and the kick is away. Line drive variety up the middle of the field. As it's yet another touchback. The second drive for the Cowboys to begin via a touchback. The Cowboys definitely have fallen far from their glory days in the early years of American football in Ireland. Cowboys were among the first teams to win the Shamrock Bowl, as a tournament that is now heading into its 37th edition, coming up in a few weeks. We'll see what the Cowboys have here. Interception, punt, fumble. Go there 3 drives. Train going by, so let's see if the Cowboys can dance here. 2 receivers to the right, 1 in the backfield. Linebacker comes up and looking like he's going to blitz. It's a run to the outside. They have the motion fake. And the UCD team can't get him down. Runner's still going. And it's a long gain for the Cowboys. Could not bring him down. And looks like he stepped out of bounds at about the 45. UCD's coach is not happy with the tackling, as you might be able to hear. That's the second Cowboys first down of the day. And now they're closing in on being able to run their first plays from UCD's half of the field. They keep it at the run, and that run goes backwards. Second and long setting up here for Craigavon. A quiet, peaceful day at Portadown. As UCD is back on a 3-game winning streak. Toss play, and good blocking avoided the first tackle, and that's not going to go again. Reversing field, trying to just keep something alive. The Cowboys continue to lose yards. And that is going to be the end of the first quarter. UCD leads 16-0, with the Cowboys driving to begin the second quarter. Teams will not change sides. Looks like all offensive plays are going to be run left to right. Not to worry, I'll make sure that everybody knows what the deal is. And yes, first peaceful day in Portadown in a while. I'm not sure how many out there in our audience today follow Northern Irish news, but Police Service Northern Ireland's been pretty busy in the Portadown area for the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to get into the particulars of why. You have the internet. You can use it yourself. So Hugh O'Connor has the strip sack that allows UCD to lay claim to their first fumble recovery of the game. And Thomas Fitzgerald has the interception to lay claim to the first turnover of the day. UCD's got 2 touchdowns, one of the Alex Kusmarek rushing variety, and the other of Tom McKenniff. You're all caught up for scoring. UCD is 2 for 2 on 2-point conversions. It's going to be a long second down play. UCD can finish their season on a 3-match winning streak. Cowboys back on the ball, trailing by 2 full scores. Quarterback receives, throws it over the middle, and it's a short gain. As that looks like that was 3rd down, so now 4th down is upcoming. This 4th down distance is awfully long to try anything funny. But for the Cowboys, it is their last game of the season, so may as well leave it all on the field. Punter had to go down to a knee to receive the ball, and UCD's got to run away from that ball. It's going to take a friendly Craigavon roll. First resulting drive of the second quarter is a punt for the Cowboys. So that leaves UCD with their first drive of the quarter. And they'll start from inside their 30. Sean, if you think your eyes are killing you, at least you can go full screen and not have to monitor the chat. I do not have that luxury. Touchdown, interception, and touchdown. UCD is 2 for 2 on 2-point conversions today. We'll be right back here for the game against the Cork Admirals for the AFI semifinals. Winner of that game will move on to the Shamrock Bowl. Heavy set backfield. Pass is going to go left side. Got some running room up ahead. It's going to be a 1st down play for UCD. Breaking tackles, breaking free. And he steps out of bounds. Sam, not only is this better than nothing, this is better than Cork. At least the live version of Cork. Holy cow, that live game in Cork was difficult. Long 1st down play. Now it's a heavy backfield with the right side. Run up the middle, breaking through the first layer of tacklers, and getting up to the 2nd level. Can't quite get the 1st down, but it's close. The cry from UCD's sideline is to go tempo. They want to go quickly, put as many points as possible on the scoreboard against the Cowboys to counteract the Cowboys liking that they go slow on the offense. While UCD's got the ball, they want to be able to score as frequently and as fast as possible. Mooney receives. Mooney hands it off. This will get the 1st down. As McKenna falls forward. Gain of about 4, resetting the chains. Looks like UCD is going to bring on Stephen Alenki. That's by the sound of it from the coaching staff. 1st and 10, ball at about the 30. 2 in the backfield again for UCD. They keep a running set. Run right side, run right side, run right side, getting past the defense and almost getting to the end zone. Kusmarek had a chance at the pylon there. It was one man to beat. Could not quite get past him. First full drive of the second quarter. UCD is seeing good fruit from its work. Now they'll spread out receivers to the left side. Keep 2 in the backfield. It's another toss play. Gets around the first tackler. It gets toward that 1st down marker. Getting to the pylon. And it is a touchdown UCD. 3 touchdowns today. for UCD puts them up over 20. $22 to nothing as UCD lines up to go for two again. Two for two on 2-point conversions today. That was Tom McKenniff's second touchdown run. They'll keep the regular offense on the field with 3 receivers to the right. It's another run, and it's through to the end zone. Make it 3 for 3 on 2-point conversions. As it looks like potentially this one might get called back. So hold on to that scoreboard update. UCD is arguing about eligibility of their receivers. As football still does still have some arcane rules regarding their players and their abilities to become eligible to receive the ball first. You must line up in an eligible formation. As UCD's coaching staff are arguing that whoever they had lined up was lined up properly. And it looks like a flag is on the field again. Stop me if you heard that one before. As Craigavon, this argument is still spilling over. UCD's coaches have won the argument. $24-0, UCD on top. 3 successful offensive drives out of their 4 today. And the kickoff team will go back to line up from the 30. Tom McKenniff's got 2 touchdowns today, and Alex Kusmarek has 1. So Will Lambert will once again line up to kick off. We're grateful all of you have decided to join us. We hope you stick around and subscribe to our channel so you know when we go live for our first playoff game. Cork Admirals will come to Dublin and visit. As Lambert will give it a swing of the right leg, and we're back underway. This one is received inside the 10. Going out toward the left-right side, and UCD stops up the play. That was Harry Watchorn on the tackle. And relying on the coaching staff yelling out player names in order to help identify the players due to the very small numbers, at least a small perspective of the numbers, from this far away. Interception, punt, fumble, punt. So given the pattern, it looks like the Cowboys might turn the ball over on this drive, as they are taking their sweet time huddling up for this first down. It's a darn shame I couldn't be there today, because this looks like a beautiful day outside. in Portadown. Quarterback is going to run. He'll stay behind the line of scrimmage and load up, looking for an interception.
Go on, go, go.
Interception, punt, fumble, punt,
Go.
interception. As the Cowboys go turnover, punt, turnover on their first 5 drives. So UCD's offense will go back to work, up by 24, looking to activate the running clock early on in this first half. Once again, the offenses are exclusively driving to the right side of the field because that is the only space on the field that has a goal or something resembling a goalpost. Because this is a converted Gaelic Athletic Association field, and those fields are massive by comparison to American football, there is only room for one goalpost unless you're going to either bring your own or uproot one. UCD's offense spreads out the receiver far to the right and keeps everybody else tight to the left. It's a run, right side. McKenniff gets through the first layer of tacklers. McKenniff gets through the second layer and nearly got through the third. Now they'll spread 2 receivers out to the right side, keep an extra in the backfield with one far to the left. Mooney on the snap. Has it. It's a handoff play. Run looking for the right side, and ball came out. Ball came out. Craigavon says they've got it, and they do. So UCD, their second turnover of the day, despite successful drives to result in a 24-point lead, an interception and a fumble, have soured the otherwise great day for the offense. So Craigavon's offense, which is most of the same players they had out on defense, will go all the way back to the left side of the field. This will activate UCD's defense. Cowboys will take their time. As Craigavon is way back as a result of the red zone fumble. J.J. Young, the center, will put his hand back on the ball as the Cowboys get set for their 6th drive of the day. If the pattern holds, they will punt on this drive. And it's a hard sack! Close to the goal line, not quite a safety. UCD already has 1 safety this year. Came on a sack by Rory O'Dwyer. That allowed the Dublin Rebels game to go from 12-13 down to 14-13 up late in the 4th quarter. Second down and forever to go. Ball inside the 5 for the Cowboys. This slow-moving offense for Craigavon is taking their time, backed up in the shadow of not their own goalposts because there is no goalpost on that side. I had to come up with a new phrase here. Quarterback stays back in to throw, and it's going to be a reception up the right sideline. Got positive yards to get away from the goal line. Third down and still a long way to go. Looks like about 15 to 17 yards for the Cowboys to get on this play. They'll send 4 receivers out and keep a running back in. Trailing by 24, and this is not going to help. It was third down and long, and now it will be third down and longer. I said at the top that Craigavon has struggled to move the ball this season, and I think you're starting to see how that might be the case. Cloud cover coming overhead as it's going to rain on Craigavon's parade all day. Third down and forever from inside their own 5-yard line. They'll keep 2 receivers each side. UCD staying with their traditional 4-man front. Try to draw UCD offside to get those 5 yards back. And reception, heavy hits. Way to hang on to it, but that was a heavy shot by the linebacker. That gets Craigavon back to within the normal 4th down range, but it is still 4th down deep in their own territory. And would you look at this? The Cowboys are sensing the desperation. They're running a play. 4 receivers, quarterback out there with a running back in the formation. Dual motion by the receivers. And that didn't work out as hoped. Craigavon attempting to get creative. And the defense was not buying it. Looks like a timeout's been called as well. 24-0 UCD on top. Touchdown, interception, touchdown, touchdown, fumble. Go UCD's 5 drives so far today. Interception, punt, fumble, punt, interception. Go the Cowboys drive so far today. And the Cowboys called their second of 3 timeouts. They have 1 left. UCD still has all 3 of their timeouts here in the late goings of the second quarter. So with 4th down this far back for Craigavon, we'll see what they try to do here, and it looks like they are running a 4th down play. sensing the desperation of a 1-6 team. We'll send 4 receivers out, 2 each side. Motion from the right to the left. Get the one in motion. And the ball going up, and it's picked off. Eddie Goggins Jr. Three different men have intercepted the ball here for UCD. Fitzgerald, Harvey, and Goggins Jr. on turnovers, as that's the first drive today for the Cowboys to end in back-to-back turnovers. Sets up UCD with good offensive position, which they would have had no matter what the result of the fourth down play, so long as it wasn't converted. And as a result of our field conditions, we will go all the way to the right to begin this drive, with UCD looking like they're in the red zone to start out. Last drive for UCD ended on a goal line fumble, and the Cowboys were unable to make anything out of it, other than keeping UCD off the board for an extra drive. Tom McKenneff's already got 2 rushing touchdowns. I believe that's him out there now. First and goal, UCD, following the interception. 2 receivers to the right, 2 in the backfield. It's a handoff to McKenniff. He'll cut off the tackle, and he's got all sorts of blocking. Not even touched into the end zone. Put up 30 on him. That's a 3 rushing touchdown day for Tom McKenniff. Two in the backfield. They'll keep a regular formation. It's going to be another handoff, and this one's not going to get into the end zone. So UCD fails on their first 2-point conversion of the day. They are now 3 for 4 today. And they are 17 for 30 on the season. Now, Will Lambert will line up to kick again, as it might be Tygo O'Connor's time at quarterback. However, I should point out that Tygo O'Connor is also listed as a backup receiver today, given UCD's light numbers. As the rain's starting to fall at Portadown. And indeed, it is coming down at Portadown now. Four touchdowns for UCD and 3 2-point conversions have them up 30-0 over the Craigavon Cowboys. The 7th place team in AFI. They are guaranteed to stay up regardless of the result of today's game. And that one is booted through the end zone. The team doesn't call him Will the Drill Lambert for no reason. 7th drive of the game for the Cowboys. 4 of the previous 6 have ended in turnovers. 3 interceptions and 1 fumble. We can't thank all of you enough for sticking it out with us here on UCD American Football's YouTube channel. The link for the semifinals match has already been created, so you can bookmark that for the future and share it around to your friends. That game will be July 5th, it'll be a Saturday afternoon. Receiver motion coming from the right side. And it's another decent play for the Cowboys. They were able to get close to that first down line, didn't quite get all they needed. Connor McKernan, the one on the run, number 15. This is his first season in American football. He played soccer prior to this. As he and the Cowboys stare down a 30-0 deficit. As this tortoise-paced offense finally breaks formation, 2 receivers each side. Toss play to the running back, and that is not going to get anywhere. Tackle for a loss brings up a 3rd and long. As the clouds that were not there at the start of this game have decided to return, and they've turned gray and opened up here at Portadown. It is a rainy day in Northern Ireland. UCD up by 30 before the rain started to get heavy. Late goings of this second quarter. Cowboys, this is their 7th drive. Tight formation left side. It's going to be a toss play. Oh my God! You all saw that hit, right? Wow. That hurt. What a hit. That one did not look good. That was a 3rd down play. That was a heavy hit for a huge loss. As that was 4th down, UCD's offense goes back to work. And Craigavon's team is taking their sweet time getting back into formation to play defense. A very purposeful slow walk by the Cowboys before starting this next drive. UCD takes over off the fumble. 3rd drive in a row to end in a turnover. 2nd fumble of the day. As the Cowboys slowly walked to the other side of the field to restart play. Starters are still in for UCD in this 30-0 game. Stu Wiley's the slot receiver on the right. He's got Tom Donovan with him. The pass is over the middle looking for Wiley, and he's through the defense. Touchdown, UCD. 36 on the board now for UCD, as it looks like we are firmly entering running clock territory to get this game over with faster. UCD is 3 for 4 on 2-point conversions so far today. Offense will again stay on the field to run this play. Mooney looking right. He's got Wiley at the back of the end zone. 2 tap touches, and that gets the toes down for 2. $38-0, and it's rolling clock territory here for UCD. As the skies darken, the rain starts to fall. And for the Cowboys, this nightmare of a season could be mercifully coming to an end soon. UCD kickoff team's been busy today, as Craigavon are taking as much time as they can in resetting themselves before starting the next play, as are kind of the only times they have to rest are on changes of possession. All offensive drives have been running from left to right today, due to the nature of there just being one goalpost on the right side of the field. Lambert drills it up the middle, and Craigavon has zero interest in returning that kick as it rolls to the back of the end zone. $38-0. You might be able to hear the rain hitting our camera. Not to worry, the camera can survive it. I've been assured as much. As it's either halftime or we're in a lightning play. And I don't know which one it is. And it is halftime. So, who's got halftime questions? We've got plenty of time to sort through. $38-0, UCD on top. Touchdown with a 2-pointer, interception, touchdown with a 2-pointer, touchdown with a 2-pointer, fumble, touchdown, touchdown with a 2-pointer. Go UCD's drives in that first half. As we are firmly in running clock territory, as both teams are going to try to go for cover. So once again, we thank each and every one of you who's been part of these streams for the last several weeks. This is our final regular season stream, and we've reached record levels of fundraising as a result of your efforts. We could not be able to run this club without your generous support. We want to thank each and every one of you who has donated throughout the course of the season. We're eternally grateful that you've been part of our games, you've been part of the chat, you've been keeping things interesting, and you've spoken with your euros, you've spoken with your dollars, and you've spoken with your time. Thank you so much to all of you for making us part of your Saturdays and Sundays for the last 8 games. We will have one more game on this channel. It will be the semifinals of the Shamrock Bowl 37 playoffs. We will have confirmation of the bracket following the end of today's games. It is going to be UCD versus the Cork Admirals on our side of the show. However, let me just check to see what the score is at the other side of the bracket. The Rebels are leading the Vikings by 14-0 at last update, which was 23 minutes ago. So it looks like the Dublin Rebels are on their way to securing that fourth and final seed on a winning streak to end the year. And they will play, it looks like, the Belfast Trojans. Game's not final yet, and so far the Belfast Knights still hold that last spot. But it is halftime here. Anybody got questions? We got a lot of time between now and the restart of the play. So this is your time to get your questions answered. Or you could just listen to the sound of the rain as it comes in from Portadown. Who has an umbrella? Sam, you might have more luck putting that in the group chat, not asking me. Yeah, Sam Malone is out here doing God's work, everybody, making sure that the camera operates properly and making sure that I have a camera feed to work with leading into today's game. Sam is a current undergraduate student, just wrapped up his first year and in a history program. He's commuting an hour 40 minutes every day to UCD to make sure that he can be part of this from Dunshaughlin in County Meath. Again, every single person out there should be thanking Sam for what he's been able to do for this team today.
Ready? Yeah. Awesome.
I think so, yeah. There shouldn't be an issue, but we'll have to confirm that. I think it'll be good. Yeah. Happy days, yeah.
I'm surprised none of you have questions, but hey, that just gives me more time to talk to you about the playoffs. So UCD is locked in to their matchup against the Cork Admirals, which is a repeat of the Week 3 matchup, which you may have noticed is the one that does not have live footage when we went live. In that, UCD exploded for 34 points in the second half for a 42-6 victory, and it nearly held Cork off the board for the entire game. The defense in that matchup recovered 2 fumbles, one by Alton Conroy and by Eddie Goggins Jr., while Liam Poulsen snagged his first interception of the season. Tygo Connor led 2 late scoring drives in the game to pad the lead and secure what was at the time a league-best plus 92-point differential. Aaron Mooney threw for his 8th touchdown of the season, and he went 11 for 23 with 3 touchdowns and interception for 255 yards in the game. Tom McKenniff carried the ball 6 times for 25 yards and a TD, and Brandon Atwell had 23 yards for 5 carries, which accounted for most of the 76 rushing yards. Tom Donovan had the biggest day of offense with 4 catches for 106 yards and 2 touchdowns. Donovan and Jefferson Freeman both had highlight reel long catches, as Donovan dragged multiple defenders and lost his jersey on a third quarter catch and run, while Freeman made a snag on his fingertips, kept his balance, and then outran his safeties. As the teams are now emerging from the, I'll call them locker trees, as they just went undercover in the rain. Hugh O'Connor, Paddy Sweeney, and Adam Quinlan all got sacks against Cork, while Alex Kusmarik and Larry Doyle both led the team with 3 tackles each, and UCD went 3 for 6. So UCD opens the second half now with a 38-0 lead. As the Cowboys will warm up with the small staff of players that they have. It is a thin roster today. Not quite as thin as the South Dublin Panthers roster when they came to UCD last week, but we're approaching that level of numbers right now as the Cowboys just trying to get loose. Once again, we're grateful for all of you for joining us. It will be a running clock once we restart for the second half. Cowboys open the game with the ball on an interception. And it looks like UCD, they will open the half with the ball and 3 timeouts. UCD's scored multiple times in both quarters, 16 points at the end of the first, and put up 3 more touchdowns in the second.
We're going to finish this game one way or another, okay? No whining, no bitching, okay? Let's do it right. Let's have the hands in.
You can hear the Craigavon coaching staff saying we have to finish this game one way or another. Down by 38, there's not a whole lot else you can say. As for the first time today, UCD's kick return team will enter the field. This will allow Alex Kusmarik and Liam Polson was listed. Polson had to exit the team bus earlier today as a result of feeling sick and needing to go home to get some medicine that he hadn't brought with him. Good thing he caught that before he was on the bus, at least. Rain looks like it's let up ever so slightly as the gray skies stay present. We hope to see all of you right back here on July 5th for the semifinal matchup. As in the other game in AFI action today, the Dublin Rebels are currently in the lead over the University of Limerick Vikings, which means, for the benefit of everybody who is planning to follow AFI into the playoffs, that the Belfast Knights will be pushed out and the Dublin Rebels will go into that fourth and final spot. Rebels' last loss was to UCD, as that's been 2 of their 3 losses this season, the other one being the Belfast Trojans, who occupy the final spot following a forfeit victory this week over the South Dublin Panthers. They finished the season perfect at 8-0. It's a squib kick, and it's going to be fielded as there's a whistle, and then the play stopped for a moment. Eventually, no one's tackling him, so you might as well keep running. Keep running.
Holy shit.
I heard a whistle. I heard a whistle somewhere in there. I'm sure everyone out there, back me up on this. There was a whistle as UCD was running that back. I swear I'm not hearing things. I'm just right. Well, it's no matter. UCD takes advantage of it. And they will set up their offense in Craigavon's half of the field, following the return by Alex Kusmarik. UCD's offense staring in at the offensive coaching staff with Mark Lawless, as Mooney is going to stay out there for UCD. Figures, just as I say the rain was letting up, it comes back with a vengeance. As I do not have a clue what the argument is about here. They're going to march UCD back to the spot of the whistle. Open letter to the people who administer this league. Get better officials. Oh my goodness. It's wow. Just wow. So UCD gets nothing out of that return, even though it was a official's mistake. Mooney stays in. Throw over the middle. Got a man open. Has it complete. Getting all those yards right back. Staying on his feet. And eventually going down. Tom Donovan on the pickup. Never mind your dumb rules. We're going to get the yards back anyway. Keeping three receivers on the left side of the formation. One of them is in the backfield. Going to be a pull play. Pass out of the backfield. Got another man moving, and it's another first down, UCD. UCD trying to beat the clock for yet another score here. Most points UCD has scored on the season is 42, coming against those Cork Admirals back in March number 3. Pass over the middle, complete. Missed tackle on 1, missed tackle on 2. And it's 3 plays, 3 first downs for UCD, as they're right back where the plays would have started had they been allowed to keep that return. And Craigavon will use a timeout here. Not a great sign for a team down by 38 points to use their first timeout on the first drive of the third quarter. As it looks like the Cowboys struggling to find whoever has all the water bottles for the team. And UCD is already lined up to go in formation. This offense for UCD has been ready from the word go today. First drive of this third quarter, 3 plays, 3 first downs. Here comes another first down. UCD trying to go tempo, keep the Cowboys defense off balance. Running back is going to go back a little bit, and it's a run play for him. First play of the drive that does not end up in a first down is still a solid gain to set up 2nd and 5. Yeah, this has to be a lonely feeling for the Cowboys, as they brought a small roster to begin with, and it's been a lot of the same people on the field for the entire game. The run, and the up the middle run does not go very far. UCD in danger of having this drive stall. Already 2 for 2 on 4th down today. Let's see if UCD needs it. They will need it. Incomplete pass. 4th, and it looks like about 4 or 5 to go for the first down. UCD is already 2 for 2 today. That makes them 4 for 12 on the year. A great drive for UCD, and the Cowboys are 1 play away from getting it off the field. Mooney will empty the backfield. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Low snap, he receives it. Has a man open, it's a catch. Does he have the first down? Yes, he does. Move those chains. UCD is hunting in the red zone once again. UCD has not required punting today. Toss play, left side. They'll get around that first level of blockers, and Kusmarik gets through, fighting through, getting that first down marker. 1st and 10. UCD goes for another first down play. As the player for UCD limps off as the play ran to their sideline. Egidas Gostatus is the one running onto the field, number 74. Still 1st and 10 for UCD. Another run play going to the right side of the tackles, and as a low tackle. Short gain for 2nd down. Gostatus hails from Alytus, Lithuania. He has experience in basketball and kickboxing, and he is a computer science student at Queen's University, Belfast. This is his 1st season playing American football. He wears the number 74 Cowboys. 2 receivers each side with a running back. Mooney pulls the ball, and it bounces off 2 hands. It falls incomplete for a 3rd and long. Third and about 9. Mooney is going to look to his left. He had 3 receivers on that side wanting the pylon. Caught at the pylon, not quite in. As Stu Wiley gets close, but not quite. It's going to be a 1st and goal inside the 3. The students closing in on that elusive 40-point margin. Handoff, McKenniff. McKenniff runs. McKenniff scores. Put another 6 on the board. Pocket 4s for UCD as they'll line up to go for 2 on their first drive of the 3rd quarter. We are in a rolling clock situation. That is McKenniff's 4th touchdown of the day, all rushing, as he is in on this offensive play, and it looks like he's going to get the ball. He'll get the extra 2 points because why not? That's now a 46-0 margin. So, Luis, the answer is yes, but you do need a UCD student number in order to register. And I will defer to the team captains on that one because they know the rules a lot better than I do. Your nationality isn't important. We've got plenty of people not from Ireland who are on the team. However, your status with the university is what's important as eligibility to play for UCD. I hope that answers your question, Luis. 5 for 6 on 2-point conversions are UCD today. It has them leading 46-0. McKenniff has 4 touchdowns today. He's closing in on the single game record for the season. As Will Lambert kicks it off again. Craigavon getting their first drive of this third quarter. Fumbled the reception. You hear UCD's coaches yelling, "Get that ball." They know that this is the sort of game where you have to start building playoff habits. This has been the emphasis all the last couple of weeks in practice to get UCD's team ready to play the playoffs. Not just ready to play their next opponent, but thinking about playoff habits. Am I going to be able to tackle in the third quarter of a game? Am I ever going to be able to have enough gas in the tank for the fourth quarter? Can I stay locked in when we're up by a lot in the playoffs, when teams on the other side might be able to move the ball better? This is a major moment here for UCD to show that they can stay focused and mentally keep the score line at 0-0. Even though it is 46-0. Cowboys taking all the time they can, as eventually the play clock winds now that the ball is down. So J.J. Youngs will put himself back on top of the ball. Motion from the left side. They'll change the formation. They'll toss it to the running back. First couple of tackles miss. Third tackle did not. It remains a lost yardage play. All offensive drives have driven from left to right today in Portadown, as the rain looks like it's at least let up briefly. Rain started to pick up toward the end of that second quarter and lasted the entire way through halftime. As it is a short roster for the Cowboys. They only brought 15 players. UCD changes their defensive formation, running play to the right side. And this will get toward the first down sticks. And it will get a first down for the Cowboys. This is the first drive for Craigavon this half. We are in a rolling clock situation with UCD up by 46. And it's going to be a pass to the right side, completed, short yardage situation. As UCD fighting for the ball still down on the ground. Liam Butler in on that stop, being called out by his nickname, Hillbilly. Second and short for Craigavon. You may have been able to hear the starters and coaches yelling out about the strength of the play. It's a matter of where players in coverage go. Blitz up the right side of the formation, looking at underneath throw, and Kusmeric almost came down with an interception. Would have been the first player this season to come with a touchdown and an interception in the same game. UCD is trying to stay engaged here. receivers left, one to the right. Short throw to the right side, and incomplete pass is the ruling. Sets up a short fourth down here. Craigavon's gone for it the last couple of drives, and down by this many, there's not a whole lot of other options as they take their second time out. It is a rolling clock scenario here for the game, and that means most plays that would result in a stopped clock no longer do, but timeouts and end of quarters are the exceptions. So that's 2 timeouts used for the Cowboys. They used one on defense in the previous drive. I believe UCD has used more players on defense on this drive than the Craigavon Cowboys have in total for today's contest. After this game, it is all eyes on the finals and all eyes on the playoffs. Let me see if we've got a score update from Dublin. We do. 21-0 Rebels over the Vikings. The last update was 27 minutes ago. So given the fact that Limerick has struggled to score, it looks like the Dublin Rebels are wrapping up the fourth and final seed in the playoffs. So that playoff bracket is getting slowly more set. Roll out left, and there's a fumble on the play.
Yes.
So no matter the result here, it's going to be a UCD ball. It's just a matter of spot and record keeping. As it doesn't really matter other than for record keeping what happened on that drive. Either way, it ends up with UCD taking the ball in their offensive half of the field, which means that we're going to spot the ball on the other side because all offensive drives have been going left to right as we see them on the camera today. Rolling clock here in this third quarter, so time is going to be still going as UCD will get the ball. As I've just been informed, we're also now in the fourth quarter of action.
Oh, go on. Go on. Go on.
Passing play left side. It's caught. It's going to go, and it's another first down for the UCD team. First down play for UCD. Sorry about the delay, everybody. We didn't miss any scoring plays. It is still 46-0. UCD looking for another scoring drive as it's a run play, looking off tackle on the right side, and this is going to get to the right side. We had an issue where my internet shut down at the same exact time that the camera also stopped working momentarily. So I think a lot of things went wrong on that one, so sorry to everybody.
Paddy, the stream cut down. If you're able to make your way back.
UCD setting up once again. This is going to be an and goal to go situation. Yeah, the Cowboys have only 4 subs today. Sets another handoff, trying to get McKenna his 5th TD of the day. We didn't miss any scoring plays, but definitely a scary situation. As Tom McKenna has accounted for most of the offense today, Alex Kusmarek has the other touchdown. As Aaron Mooney is still in the game at quarterback as a result of Tyg O'Connor needing to be a backup receiver and Joe Carroll not being at today's contest. Mooney setting up here and looking for a running play to Kusmarek, and the camera goes away momentarily. And doesn't sound like anything happened as a result of that play. UCD's offense still staring in. Camera finally comes back for this play. Momentarily, of course. It's a pass, and it's a caught, spin around, got the touchdown once more. That was Kusmarek on the play. As UCD breaches the 50-point plateau for the first time today. First time all season UCD's put up this many points. As we are at the 2-minute warning. That third quarter went by way faster than I expected it to, and nobody told me until after the fourth quarter began what time the fourth quarter was. Offense stays out to run a play here. As the camera having a lot of issues. They do have somebody on the ground working on it, but the 2-pointer runs toward the goal line and not quite. 5 for 7 on 2-point conversions, as this is looking like it's going to be the only drive of the quarter for UCD. Greetings to the Schultzes watching from Kansas. Tuning in a bit late, so we'll recap what you missed. UCD jumped out to an early lead with their first offensive possession, and they have been 5 for 7 on 2-point conversions today. The Cowboys, interception for 3, fumble for 3, and 1 punt for variety. As the clock is still running, UCD likely not going to hang on to the ball another time today. As it's looking like it's going to be one more kick and maybe a few scrimmage plays before the end of this contest. Lambert drills this one, and Craigavon's just going to let it roll to the end zone once more. There's the whistle. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Craigavon. UCD jumps to a fast lead in the first half. It proved too much to overcome for the Cowboys. UCD will finish the season 6-1, 7-1, as they head into the Shamrock Bowl semifinals against the Cork Admirals July 5th at scheduled start time to be announced later. Currently, we have it set at 2 p.m. Irish time. Make the conversions for your own time zones. Thank you to everybody once again for having us be part of your Sundays and Saturdays throughout the spring and into the summer. Your final score today is 52-0. UCD victorious for the 7th time today. On a personal note, I must thank each and every one of you who's been part of these broadcasts, each and every one of you who has watched, each and every one of you who has been here in the chat, telling the camera operators, telling the team. We're grateful for each and every one of you who's been part of these games. A salute to all of you. We hope to see you for the semifinals. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.